a post you posted the other day about just like how podcasting is the best networking play, because when I'm asking people to be on my podcast, I am developing these friendships that outlast, like, we don't have to talk every day. We're bonded for life now. We got content together. We're married in content land. You know what I mean?
I do.
We do. Everyone's always going to see us like together, you know, doing this. And so I've seen just how happy people are when they leave my podcast, and also what I'm able to do for other people too. Like, now I get to have the platform that put people out there. And so now I don't have to wait. That was the biggest thing in acting that I hated.
Welcome to the Flipping Table podcast, where wow, I really forgot this.
You want me to get the teleprompter?
No, I got this.
Please get the teleprompter.
Let me work through it. You got to work through this.
Please.
You got to work through this.
Help this guy out.
Will you please? Welcome to the Flipping Tables podcast. I'm your host, Tanny Majikwa. And today I have a very special guest. But before I introduce the special guest, don't show her yet, I would like you to hit this little bell icon over here, this little like button. And if you really rock with this and we give you value today, I also want you to comment and maybe do one more thing for me. Share this with a friend, maybe an uncle, an aunt, long lost relative. What better way to connect with them than actually showing them the best podcast on the planet? Round of applause, please, sir. Today, as always, I have super producer Brandon Mack on the ones and twos. B Mac, what's going on?
What's going on, people? Happy to be here. Happy to see y'all. Happy to do everything in your podcasting producer needs and all that.
Awesome. And before we get started, Brandon, how is your mental health?
That was a random question.
Yeah, I feel like as like black people, we don't ask that enough. So
you pick a hell of Teddy, you pick a hell of a hell of a fucking time to ask that question.
The examples. We're going to be examples to people out there.
My mental health is cool. I spent like 3 hours last night on the phone with my guys from back in LA.
Nice.
Just shooting the shit, talking about new endeavors and what we're trying to do in the next fiscal year. So
I like it.
Yes, I needed that. That's what gave me like a good boost in my mental health for sure.
I like that. May you please give yourself a round of applause?
I will.
You're phenomenal. Thank you. All right. Today's episode, I actually had a game plan set up, but on the way here, I actually had a car ride with our guest during essentially like a thunderstorm. So it should have been 20 minutes, actually turned into an hour and 30 minutes. So during this process, there are a bunch of questions that I was asked, and I try to save this material so you folks could actually watch it. So I'm going to continue a lot of the conversation, and we're going to get into some of the things I had pre-planned. So I just want to have you prepared that this may go a little off the rails a little bit, but nonetheless, we're definitely going to accomplish the mission. So without further ado, I would like to introduce the lovely, incomparable Olivia Jonale.
Should be looking. Where should I look? That one?
Third one. Yep, right there.
Hi, guys.
Which way?
I'm so happy to be here. I just want to say I'm so impressed with this setup. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. And yeah, let's get into some topics because look, this isn't my podcast. I'm going to let you host it.
Go for it. Go for it. You don't want me to get started. So
I like it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Brandon, what was the first thing that we said that we were going to talk about?
Colorism.
Was it really colorism?
It was.
I have nothing else to say about
that. Tanny, I feel like you have a lot to say when it's not time to be said. And about colorism.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm curious. So did you guys really have a conversation about colorism in the car?
So what the conversation really was, we were talking about women, right? And preferences as far as women. And the conversation went to, how do you feel about African women versus American women or Black American women? And I was like, each of them kind of have drawbacks and benefits. One of the biggest one being, I believe, in my opinion, as a whole, mind you, not everyone's the same. African women tend to be needed to getting taken care of, I guess, more so than American women. And then went to a conversation about American women are more so masculine than women in Africa. So my question to you, Liv, is how do you feel about that, just as a whole?
Well, you are the one who said that the African women come over here expecting to be taken care of. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to be taken care of too. I want to be a princess too. Like I think growing up had a vision that you were going to meet a guy and then he was going to fall in love with you and then he was going to take care of you. Mm-hmm. And now they want me to work.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't
Now
have a button for that.
Now I'm stuck. Now I'm stuck like having to, and I don't mind, but like I have to like push myself to be like the provider that I want. You know what I mean? And I feel like I am always stuck in this place where I have to be kind of masculine and play kind of both roles, like my man and myself.
That's interesting.
To take care of myself, especially with these inflation prices.
Oh, no.
Wait. So
Go for it.
I would say is just being. And I'm not saying you're not an adult. What I'm saying is just being an adult, being able to take care of yourself. I don't think that's you don't have to display any masculinity just taking care of yourself. You know what I mean?
No. I think, okay, so like when you're in a relationship, isn't it different for you?
What do you mean?
Isn't life a little bit easier for you?
No. That's why I got out of my last relationship.
Oh no, you said that so fast too.
Yeah, no. Life when unless a woman is understanding of what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do and the direction that I'm going, if you're not like pushing me for that, then you're hindering me. You're pulling me back.
Right.
But I'm not saying that that's not possible. If you're doing all those things and checking the boxes with that, I think life could be easier.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like and don't get me wrong, like black men are the preference. So I am.
Don't make a noise with that. I like that.
Is light skin the same for the record? Light skin.
They should.
Light skin.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Come to me like, but I have like been dating outside of my race as well, and I've been trying Indian and Arab men specifically, and the way they like make sure they take care of me hits different than like how a black guy even wants to.
So how would you
wants to?
How do you want to be taken care of?
I want to like sit back and just like not think.
Just have everything on autopilot?
Yeah, like and I've noticed with more masculine men you can. I only know because I've been around them and I'm like, wow, like I caught myself all day not even having to think. I could just flow.
Right.
So I don't have to overthink my decisions. Like, of course, when you're an entrepreneur, you need to like maximize your time and you need to make sure you're like hitting all of your goals. And that's what I say is that masculine trait in me, where I have to be so vigilant on making sure I'm replying to DMs, making sure I'm setting up podcast recordings, making sure that I'm paying each bill on time. And I know this is a part of adulting, but when you're with a man that like does those things and you just kind of like fit in and you can kind of focus on your hobbies, it hits so different.
Let me ask you this then. So what drew you into entrepreneurship? Because I feel like that more so than anything else requires you to be on your P's and Q's and actually have to be more masculine than just taking a profession or taking a regular 9 to 5. So what drew you into going into entrepreneurship?
I want to make some money.
True.
Yeah.
But you can make money doing the same thing though, no?
Right.
How?
I don't know.
Even if I got hired to do what I'm doing now as a podcaster, I'm still capped at whoever like pays me.
True.
I can't just be like, you know what? Our numbers are doing better now. Can we add an extra 10%? That's not how contracts work.
I mean, it could. If you go into a situation where you're able to negotiate.
Yeah.
And, you know, nothing's set in stone.
Yeah.
Everything is up for negotiation.
Yeah. And from my expertise, like, or my experience with having a job, you can ask for a raise like every 6 months, but you can't just go based off of your numbers. Like if you got clout right now or not.
So when you ask for men to support you, do you mean by like support you in with your endeavors and what you're trying to do in life, or is that like a monetary thing? Like I want to be on autopilot. I heard you say that. I want to be on autopilot. Are you basically saying like you don't want to wake up and think about anything? You want to just know the bills are paid? What does that look like to you?
So yeah. Let me think about that before I say something.
Just like if I say something crazy.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Take it there. It's Danny Wajikwa, your trusted podcast producer and content strategist. Today, I'm your pilot, flying you to the heights of brand success. And the fuel for our flight? A video podcast. That's right. With a video podcast, your brand can soar. Visit launchthepodcast.com today and let's take your brand to new heights with a video podcast. Here's to your podcasting success. Cheers.
Because there's a ratchet part of me that wants to be like, you gotta pay everything.
I want to hear the ratchet part. I want to hear the ratchet part.
Please.
Right.
But the real version, the more realistic version of me, understands that like I should be contributing something to the relationship. But I did not make the rules into this society. I did not say money. I didn't make money.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if we're being realistic, it takes money to live. And we were talking about that. Because I was like, how much do you spend every single day? Right now, I'm averaging like $100, $150, and I'm being cheap.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes the Great Value brand. Like, that's not even my choice.
Wrong. First of all, there's nothing wrong with Great Value.
Yeah, that's that
excellent
Walmart
products. Yeah, absolutely.
If that's how you want to live, I like Target. I like going to Target and getting the name brand with the cute packaging. I know it's the same thing. It's not the point. It's when it's in my bathroom, it got a pink bottle and it's just cute. And if I can live this life every single day, it's going to take about $200, $300 a day.
I like it.
So
I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I agree. Well, let me ask you this.
What
Hold on.
costs $200-$300 a day?
just life, like eating, like, you know, whatever you might need to do.
I'm doing the math on it. That's
Tanya's doing the math.
8,400 a month?
I mean, obviously I don't do that, but if I could, like if I'm making 30, 40,000 a month, I assume I'm gonna give myself at least a $200-$300 budget a day. That's just how, and that's why I'm not expecting a man to do that for me right now, because if I can ask what I want to come to the table, I'm gonna say, hey, you should set aside at least $10K a month to have a girlfriend. This type of girlfriend, this one right here.
I'm sorry, they need to set, so I get this straight, $10K a month
If I can ask for I want. If I can ask for I want.
Okay, all right, that's fair. Let me tell you my opinion though, and why sometimes I do clash with a lot of women as far as like the mindset, right? I believe that financially is not the only way you can take care of someone else, right? So I believe 100% in gender roles. So for example, I believe women actually do most of the work when it comes to like the nurturing or taking care of the house or the cooking or even making sure, for example, that the guy is in the right mental space to be able to do what he needs to do to go out there. The disconnect that I have with a lot of women, and I'm talking the majority of women today, is that they leave that part out. It's just, I want to be taken care of. I want to make sure my bills are paid. I'm good. And they don't contribute anything else to it.
So that's the disconnect I have a lot of the times. That. I really can't imagine that. And I don't know if that's just the type of woman that I am, but I naturally want to be a girl and like clean up and keep the place clean, decorate. I want to cook. I want to be like, you know, sexually pleasing. Like I, you know, study all aspects of everything in that realm. So I guess I can't personally imagine a woman just wanting to like.
You said you can't imagine? It's happening out there.
But I'm talking about vibrations. I'm talking about who you're attracting.
Okay.
And the person that I know you of in this short time, like I can't imagine you even attracting a lazy woman. I imagine you attracting somebody who at least has a passion for something, at least wants to cook for you, at least wants to like, you know what I mean? Wake you up with some morning flow, you know what I mean? Like, I imagine that 100%. For you.
You know what?
I hope you're getting that.
In theory, though, but I do believe that, especially women actually, have a tendency to kind of put their best foot forward in the beginning. So first 3 months of dating someone is not the same as the next 3 months of dating someone. Mm-hmm. Like most of the dates that I've went on or dated someone, night and day. There's never been one person I've dated that's the same the first 3 months as they were past that 3 months. Mm. I don't know if the experience is the same for you, Brandon, but I think a lot of guys do suffer from that. And I think that's what kind of makes them super hesitant to kind of put themselves in that vulnerable situation.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I was moving out here. I was promised a whole slew of things.
40 acres and a mule?
And I'm single. You know what I'm saying? So, no, Tanya's absolutely right. It's just, you know, things change. There's a switch. I'm not saying all women do it, but there's a switch in the relationship.
You can say most. Most is a lot.
Most women, it's just like, all right, we've been doing this, and they feel like the end prize is the vagina, and like once you give up the vagina.
My God. I had a girl tell me that she said that she's the
y'all
prize.
Act like that. Y'all act like vagina is the end prize.
Oh, it's
me.
not. It is not. It's not even. It's not even. I'm not gonna go there, but
wait, what were you gonna say? I want to hear it.
I'm not saying it's not even the prize for me. You know what I mean? It's just like if you hold out, I get it or whatever. You know what I mean? But like my last relationship, I wasn't necessarily looking to have like the super most sexual relationship, given the industry that I came from. But now I'm like more so onto like a more emotional connection. You know what I mean? Like, do you know me? Fuck having sex. Do you know me? Do you know if with the things that I don't say? Am I speaking to you still? You know what I mean? That's the type of connection that I would like to have moving forward in a relationship. You know what I mean?
And this podcast is all about limiting beliefs. And one of the things, and Brandon can speak to this, I talk about it all the time. I have a strict $20 rule on the first date.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I've said it to every single person on different podcasts. And that's the same.
Time out.
Yeah.
Because she's saying yuck. My thing is,
Absolutely.
Wait.
if I pick you up and we go to the beach and I got a bottle of wine and a charcuterie board.
Wait, no. You're breaking the $20. Don't do that. Go back.
I need you at least to spend $50 on the charcuterie board.
No, but I'm just saying. Okay, but if I get a nice thoughtful plan, the point is you don't know that it's $20.
I do know.
Wait, no, Brandon, don't ruin it. What is the point of the $20 rule? I'm gonna let you explain it.
Oh, it's to figure out who is actually for you and who is for the money. You know what I mean? Because if you do that, if you spend $100 on the first date, you're gonna have to spend $200 on the next date, and then $300 on the next.
I'm gonna add a little more to what you said, but
you're gonna have to maintain that. There's no going down after that.
Okay, you kind of took my $20 rule and you tweaked it a little bit. You kind of made it your own.
Oh, yeah, because I've been thinking about it.
Okay, so I'm not 100% agreeing with what he said. So my premise with that, why I started the $20 rule. Number one, I want to get to know the person and see if they're worth investing, money in, but most importantly, time. So I would do things like maybe take them to a coffee shop just to kind of see where their head's at before actually taking them out on a date. Because at the end of the day, if I take you out to dinner, I'm not going to learn anything about you.
Golly.
Right? If I take you real quick for a walk in the park for just maybe an hour, just to get to know who you are and see if you're worth investing time or money into, it's always worked out. But when I did the opposite,
I'm so glad we met on these circumstances because definitely not a second date.
Really?
You wouldn't even get a first date. At this point, like my time is so valuable. If you just want to see if we vibe, send me a FaceTime. FaceTime me. We can do that for free. Keep your 20 in your pocket. We can FaceTime for a couple of nights. We can talk on the phone.
100%.
We can record a podcast together.
Yeah.
We could do something productive for free. But if you talking about a date, I'm sorry. Like, I get too much attention to not be impressed. I want to be impressed. Like, I want to be
So you're saying first date is built for them to impress you?
For sure.
So what happens after the first date?
What do you
Do they
mean?
have to? So like you said before, and you actually said on the car ride, yeah, it was definitely you, that don't switch up on me, right? Be consistent. So if someone goes out of their way to actually impress you, what are they doing? They're putting their best foot forward.
Right.
So what you're saying is that, essentially what you're saying, you're putting them in a position where it's unsustainable.
No.
Because if they're putting their best foot forward, how can you consistently always put your best foot forward?
That's like me for the first date showing up in a beautiful dress and heels. And then as you get to know me, I'm always wearing like a hoodie and sweatpants.
True, but you occasionally wear a hoodie,
but I'm not about to switch up too crazy on you. If you gonna see me in a dress and the heels on the first date, like I'm keeping that energy. So for me, I'm not expecting Mastro's is my favorite place in LA. You been there?
I've been to the one in Vegas.
That's a steak place, right?
Steakhouse.
I pronounce it Maestro's. Like
it's Mastro's.
Like
it's Mastro's for sure.
Maestro's sounds so much
better. For sure. So
I like Maestro's.
In my head, I'm like, okay, first date, Mastro's, perfect. Second date, you don't gotta go as hard. We can go a nice like vegan chic place. Spend $60, but like, you know, keep up a quality about yourself. Don't go from like Mastro's to McDonald's, but there's there is a standard. You know what I mean? Like,
Interesting.
and to me,
I enjoy Mastro's, but I can cook a way better steak at the crib. I'm gonna be honest with you.
okay, but
also,
come on.
But also,
yeah,
too,
you could cook a second date, third date. We can talk about cooking a steak at the crib, but I'm not. To me, we're too grown to be sitting in each other's house on the first date, because you know what that's gonna lead to.
I get
I'm
that.
tired of the trickery.
I get that.
Okay, don't sit there and go, do you want a body rub?
No.
Do you want a body massage?
100%.
Since we're just here on the couch eating a steak.
You kick it at my house on the first date. We're watching like a dozen scary movies. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're gonna watch them all the way through.
Oh my God.
You put your leg over me, I'm gonna
playing.
push your leg right back off. Like, no, you gotta watch this movie.
Oh God, the lies.
You gotta watch this movie. I don't want you to fall asleep. We ain't smoking or nothing.
Oh
no, but
I know.
what was I gonna say? Like, what happened to the fun dates? You know what I mean? And what I mean by fun, like, what's wrong with like hitting up like a miniature golf or something like that? Or it doesn't always have to be like food. You know what I mean?
No, it
Like,
doesn't always have to be food. It can be, of course, anything.
I think
Just not $20.
I was told.
I look at the bill. I'm calculating.
You be like, let me see that real quick.
By the end of the night, I know how much you spent.
Ooh.
And I'm thinking about that. And I go, wow, he spent $350.
And you know what's really cool
But
about
what
this
if you-
Let
conversation?
me answer his text.
Wait a minute.
Just
But
text
what
me
if
back.
you have fun off the strength and the vibe, and he spent a fraction of that?
Okay, cool. Then ask me to hang out as a friend first. You know what I mean?
So
if you come in with the intention of you want to be my man, then you need to go hard. If you're just like Tanny did and like, let's film some podcasts, like I ain't asked Tanny to spend no money. Now I hope he gets me dinner, but
Hold on to the seat really tight, cuz. Hold on to the seat really tight.
but if you don't want to, you ain't got to, you know what I mean? I'll go home hungry. But
Wow, no pressure whatsoever.
Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said. Wait, first of all.
But no, 100%. And the cool thing about this conversation, I think you're actually a great representation of what I see in a lot of women today, right? Just as far as like the mindset. So it's a good conversation because I get to see as far as like where their head's at.
yeah.
That being said, I think it's going to be a while before I get married because I feel like at this point I've seen
Why the fuck you lying?
that could change, you never know. But no, I've just seen so much in the fact that, like you too, if I don't see someone that genuinely cares about adding on to what I have going on, it's just like an automatic turn off. Like when someone has standards like right off the bat without knowing me, I'm just like, I'm good.
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
you're
at
hitting me
that
with the
point,
I need this and I need this.
it can only get downhill. Like I don't see a point where, okay, this is the worst it's going to get when I just met you. You know what I mean? So when I see that, it's just an automatic red flag. And yes, probably my patience is a lot lower than it has been in the past.
Yeah.
But I think the older you get, the more you get to realize who you are.
Yeah.
And when you see just any type of anything that just could resemble something, you're very quick to just...
or something that left a bad taste in your mouth previously. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like so cautious about the energy that I put out so I can get a certain type of energy back. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And that's why I want you to be, whoever like comes to me trying to date me, that's why I want you to be real sure and real like serious about coming towards me. Because I want to be courted and I want to be treated like, I don't usually do this. I don't want you spending $250 on every single girl on the first date. I don't want you doing that with everybody because then I'm not special. And some guys can actually like afford to do that. I want to know that like you took some time and you've gotten to know me too and that's what I'm saying. I'm fine with starting off as a friend, but you really need to be a friend. You know what I mean?
100%.
And show up for me. If you're not spending no money, then we need to be equally participating with each other.
Can value be given in any other way but monetarily?
Of course.
In what way would you say?
Just this interaction alone.
So
I don't have no pressure on you to do nothing.
When it comes to dating though, can there be another value other than monetary value when it comes to dating you?
Of course there is. But I want somebody who is romantic. I want somebody who is intentional and excited about dating me and excited about like spoiling me and treating me so good and making me smile and putting me in beautiful places. Like, I want quality. And if it's quality, then it's like, of course you're going to do that for me. You know what I mean? I don't want to be another one of your $20 first dates. That's why I said just FaceTime me. I don't need that. I don't need a coffee. Let me just go pick up a coffee and get to work so I can go take me on a $250 date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to be cheap with me, let me just treat myself real good, because that's what I've been doing now in my self-love journey. It's just like, I don't want cheap dates. I know you're nice. I know you're sweet. I can tell. But those qualities is not like impressing me to want to be, you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking explicitly.
Let me get this straight. So
What?
just for clarity, for my sake. So you're saying the guy A, right? Really nice guy.
Right.
Real sweetheart.
Yeah.
Really caring, right? Probably doesn't have that much money.
Right.
Guy B, balling out of control. He can be sweet, has consultants or people on staff that can show him how to be romantic. Who are you more attracted to?
Yeah, definitely the guy who can hire a consultant for their dating life.
Tell me why.
Because I told you my preference is black men. So I dated a lot of broke ones. I'm sorry. Sorry, y'all.
I see where it's coming from now.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I have so much love for him. Shout out to my ex. Hey, if you're watching this, I have so much love for you. But like, that broke relationship was just so draining. And the thing is, with people who don't have a lot of money, you know this, like, you start hanging around them, you can't make money no more. Now you can't, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Stagnant.
Yes, and you're stuck. And what I've noticed with men who are at least decently well off financially, we're building on something for real, because we're both able to come to the table with something. Your niceness is not coming to the table with nothing. And that's why I said, please be my friend. FaceTime me.
Absolutely.
Let's talk on the phone. Let's, like, we can do that on that type of friendship level. And then once you get your money up and you're able to date, then that's when you do that. Don't force it trying to impress me once every 3 months. And I'm just sad. I'm sad because I'm going outside and I got all these hoochie daddies trying to pay all my bills. And I'm like, oh, and then you sitting over there hating because you broke. And you like, oh, not you accepting gifts from other men. Okay, well.
That's a fair point. Okay.
I'm hungry and you ain't got no money. So now we're both sitting there looking at each other, hungry, both wanting a steak. I got enough money to go get me one, but I'm looking at you. And you like, I love you. Like, let's go to the bedroom. Ew.
Can I ask you a question?
Let's not.
Can I ask you a question? What does 50-50 look like to you?
Poverty.
Really?
Yes. Sorry.
I love how intrigued, by the way, Brandon is by this conversation, because he's always engaged, but he is particularly engaged right now, which I absolutely love. And yes, I want you to go ahead and ask the question.
No, the reason why I asked that question is because I was talking to my boy who is married, and we had a whole conversation about 50-50. And nowadays, when a woman hears 50-50, they automatically think monetarily. Like, we got to go 50-50 on the bills and stuff, but it's deeper than that. You know what I mean? They have 3 kids. So it's just like 50-50 means it's situational. You may, coming in from work, you may be at a 30. I can pick up the 70. You know what I mean? To make it whole. Or whether it comes to cooking or cleaning up house duties, kids, stuff like that. All of those play a factor into this 50-50 that I think a lot of modern women in today's age doesn't take into consideration. They just hear 50-50. Oh, I can't do that. I'm not about to pay half of nothing. It's just like, so what if your man is paying all the bills? What does 50-50 look like to you?
When I hear 50-50, I think 50-50. I'm on you on the same page. I see 50% of me doing it and 50% of you doing that. And that's cooking, cleaning, that's everything. So you need to help me with the cooking sometimes. If you see I had a long day, because I'm working too, because I'm providing that 50%. So if you see me as a podcaster, had to do shootings all day, you need to be, and you came home early, you need to be the one who like cooked dinner.
So that's 50-50. Your answer changed because when I first asked the question, it was
I don't want that.
That's poverty.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I didn't say I wanted it. I said that's 50-50. That's 50-50. To me, I think if I'm going to do 50-50 with you, I'd rather do 100 by myself.
Oh, so you just want somebody to just do it all?
No, I want to come to the table with my gifts, skills, and abilities comfortably and bring that, and you bring your skills. I don't know if that's 70-30. I don't know how that's going to work out. I consider myself a real smart woman, I must say. I know my thing about things. You know what I mean?
Very modest.
Yeah, and I'm so intentional about like being able to provide, coming to the table with revenues, like idea of revenues where we're making passive income, because that's like my hope for my life is to build this podcast and be able to have like affiliate links and all these things running and playing.
So that's your definition of like 50-50.
Right.
So not poverty.
So like, yeah, if I'm bringing in hella money, but I'm teaching you how to do it too, and we're both doing it together and we're making content. You seen the couples who make the content together?
Right.
That's my skill. So it's like, if you can add to that, I don't know if some days you're going to have more content to make than me, or if I'm going to have to do more. I don't know how that's going to leverage, but I do know that like,
you got something, you want somebody else to bring something, and then you guys can make it work.
Yeah.
So that's 50-50.
Wait. Okay, I think what she's trying to say, which I'm actually catching on to, because initially I was about to go on go mode. I was excited. But you reeled it back.
I'm like, what? That's not poverty, huh?
But recently I did watch a reel, and she broke it down when she was saying like marriage is not 50-50. And she broke down, it's like sometimes I'll have 30, sometimes I'll have 70, sometimes I'll have 60, and you'll have 40. But she was saying it's never 50-50. It's always going to fluctuate.
Right.
I think that's what you reeled it back into saying. So I can't even be mad at that.
Yeah.
But no, 100%. You're not always equally going to have the same energy towards something. But I guess the bigger point that I more so believe is that it has to be a partnership, right? It can't be, I need this, I need this, I need this. Because for me personally, whenever I hear it from different women, it's like, it's just, I turn off mentally. Whether it's me doing it too early or not, when I hear, yeah, and you got to do this, and I need my nails done, and I need this, I'm automatically like, oh, God.
Pat in the head.
Yeah, pat in the head. It was itchy. And I got to make sure that you take care of my kid. And you're like, what? No, what? No, I don't know. No. So that's why I'm such a big proponent of the $20 rule. Not because I'm being cheap, but it's more so I need to know if you're worth investing time in.
Because if I spend $200 on the first date, and I think you're a shit person, I'm gonna feel shitty about that $200.
And it's not even that, dude. It's just the time aspect. It's just, like you're saying, to your point, your time is valuable, right?
Yeah.
I believe my time is valuable. I believe everyone's time is valuable. And I don't believe anyone should put themselves in a position where they just give it away for no reason, regardless of what situation you're in. Time is the most valuable asset that we'll ever have. Really not money. And
I have plenty of guys asking me to take me to places where they would have to spend $200, $300 on the meal. And I say, no, I'm not just going with anybody just because I want a $200 meal. So to me, like, I'm not even coming at it as a point of like, I'm trying to use you for this.
No, I don't think that's what we're saying either.
Okay, so I'm like,
I was saying it.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He was saying he's getting a lot of girls that want to do that. And I'm like, no, I don't even let anybody pay for my nails anymore. I don't let just anybody pay for my hair anymore, because I feel like money is such an energy. And so if you're going to give me that money, I know you're expecting something, whether that's texting me, whether that's you're expecting something.
That
from
happen a
me.
lot, like as far as like just women in general. Like, for example, if someone says they want to fly you out, is there an automatic like obligation tied into it? Or is it
I think
kind
you've
of like
heard
a conversation before?
Yeah, they're like, they may or may not say that they're expecting it, but you already know, like, if
is it always like kind of like unsaid rule kind of thing?
Not all guys, of course. There's some guys who like are genuine and that's not their purpose, but you know, most guys like...
It's Kenny Majikwa, your friendly neighborhood podcast producer and content strategist. Today, I'm your coach. I'm here to tell you that if you want to win the game of branding in 2023, you need a video podcast. That's right. In the game of brand success, a video podcast is your MVP. Visit launchthepodcast.com today and let's make your brand the MVP with a video podcast. Here's to your podcasting success.
You know,
Cheers.
most guys, like if he's flying you out, if he's taking you on vacation, I don't even go no more. Like I used to accept all these trips and these clothes and these bags from these men. And I'm like, it came with such an energy of obligation. And now they're expecting to like be able to talk to me all day, answer me when I call, like, now I don't even want none of that. So if I even let you spend, you lucky if you even get to spend $250 on the first day with me. Like you should be happy. Like she let me even spend my money because now I'm like, keep it. I'd rather make it.
Yeah.
I really would rather go make it and take myself or go take my friends. See, here's another thing too. The way I treat my friends, my friends here right now, I hope she can contest. I like to spoil my friends. If I have it where I can spend $250 for us to go out and eat, I want to do that. And so I'm not complaining. I'm not vetting and making sure this, and this. We can freely enjoy that. And that's what I want in my relationship too.
Okay, give her a round of applause. I like it. She changed slightly throughout it.
So you don't mind spoiling your man?
Oh
no, not at all.
So some nights the $250 date can be on you.
For sure. Now don't get too comfortable.
Now we talking.
Don't get too comfortable. You ain't the princess. You know what I mean?
Of course not.
But think about it too. If I'm bringing something to the table where like I'm helping you make $250 too, I don't want to hear you complain about having to spend it.
Right.
Don't complain. If you gonna complain, keep it.
You know.
I don't want to hear no complaints.
Guys complain about that?
Yeah, they be like, oh, I had to spend this money. I ain't got it. I don't want to hear it. Go make it. Go get it.
What's really interesting is both you kind of have scars from your past, and they're literally the polar opposites.
I'm a little traumatized.
Right?
I'm traumatized.
That's what I'm saying. Both of y'all like literally the complete opposites.
I didn't spend the money, and I'm out here by myself.
The saddest story that I ever heard was, I mean, I'm sure there's worse stories, but one of my friends, this was like 2 years ago, met what he thought was a really cool girl, seemed really nice, and he was like, man, I really want to spoil her. Mind you, that's when I developed the $20 rule. Like, maybe get to know her just a little bit. He's like, nah, we're doing the work, so I'm going to do it. Went to this fancy restaurant, got a bottle of wine, crazy markup when you go out, especially towards the beach.
It's like a $40 Hennessy bottle in the club. It's $500.
Yeah.
Makes sense, bro. If you're trying to show out. I think he ended up spending like $2,000 on dinner. Then they went out to the Miami Heat game, not floor seats, but got really close there, having a blast, right? Just having the time of their lives. And then after, when he went to drop her off, he was like, I really had a good time. She's like, yeah, I had a good time too. And he leans over, he's like, honestly, I think we'd just be better as friends, but I had a great time, thank you, and just walked off. That night, he came over my house, just bawling, just crying. Because the entire time, she gave the impression that she was genuinely interested in him. But after, she was like, oh, we're good. So literally, he was out $6,000 without even just getting to know her intentions.
Okay.
Or even get to know if that's what he wanted.
We went from 20 to 6,000. Your man's a fool.
Well, it's easy to say now, but.
I'm sorry. I was saying 250. All right, if you crying over 250, you should not be dating.
But then again, money is relative, right? In the sense that what's a lot of money? It's different for everybody.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess for him, might have been someone else's 250, right? It might have been the equivalent.
Yeah.
Just depending on the person.
I don't know, but that sounds like a lot for not getting to know her first.
So what should he have done?
FaceTime her. Hi, what are you into? What do you like?
FaceTime is a terrible idea.
Okay.
That's when people kind of put like their best foot forward. Like, is anyone ever the same as when you've met them on FaceTime?
Yes.
Once, maybe?
Now I'm a FaceTimer. I'm not saying this just as ideas being put out. I genuinely FaceTime me. I'll talk to you. If I like you, I'll go on the date. If not, and to me, don't take a girl out and now she gotta like you. That's weird.
Wait, say
So
that
he
again?
spent $6,000 and he had this expectation that she now had to like him.
But Liv, you gotta wait, hold on. You
Come
gotta
on
give him
now.
a little rope here because she's going out on the date with him. So it's like, yes, I like you. It's not like the same example as getting flown out, right?
Yeah,
Where there's
but
no
she
expectation. But
once she
dressed up and went
experienced
out.
that with him, she didn't like him no more.
Oh.
Sorry, it is what it is. I have experiences with people where I go, wow.
I wonder
now
what
don't
your
like
homie
you.
said on that date.
The thing is, he's kind of like the really, really nice guy. So I know there's really nothing bad. Like he would go out of his way to not offend.
I'd have been like, too
And
much
that could
too
be a
soon.
turn off too. Like
Well, I mean, at
I
least
like,
say earlier.
as you can see, I'm a little sassy. I need a little banter. I need a little joke. I need a little like laugh. So if you too nice to me, I'm like, ugh, grow some balls. Like if you ain't gonna sneak in with me and we ain't gonna get in, like that's when you can save some money.
Yeah.
I'm with it sneaking in just for the fun of it. Like for the thrill of it all. Like we sneaking in, cool. Like say, look, you may only have to spend 100 after that.
Have you ever been mean to any of your exes before?
Of course.
Have you ever? So you've been the mean person before, and they were kind of like the nice person.
No, not like mean where like
That's
I date nice guys. Like my guys aren't rude or anything.
Is it intentional, where you feel like if you need to, you can kind of like walk over them, quote unquote?
No, I don't ever want to be able to walk over you.
Okay. Why do you go for the nice guys then?
Well, I like a guy who can hang out without making me feel pressured to have sex. And so those tend to be just like nicer guys, but I don't want to hang out with you and like I'm constantly feeling you breathing on my shoulder, like waiting for me to like maybe take another tequila shot.
What?
She might start doing some crazy shit.
Oh, no.
That's how I be feeling with guys. Very predatory behavior. I be like, just thirsty,
you're
just
the
hungry.
only one taking the shot. It's like, I'm cool. You can have another one and just.
Yeah,
eyes
that was
wide.
back in my drinking days. Yeah, I'm taking a shot. Pour me up another one. And yeah, shit would start happening. And that's why I'm like, I like a guy who's real like in control of his penis. Like, you know what I mean? Just calm. Just like
Interesting.
it don't gotta be touched every single day. Like, relax. It's okay. Some of them be acting like every single day it's like I need to at least play with myself, beg this girl, I'll take you out, spent $250, please, baby, please, baby, please. That's how I be feeling.
I told you should have spent the 20. But
You definitely not getting none of it.
let me ask you this.
Damn.
Do you think it's harder? And I want your friend's opinion too. If you can gear her mic, you won't be on video, but I just want to hear your opinion on it too after you answer. Do you feel like it's harder for a guy in this day and age versus a woman to find a good partner?
I don't think either or is harder. I think we're in a space. Can you hear me?
Yep.
I think we're in a space where we're creating new rules. And now that women are just becoming bosses, we have new rules. Okay? Like, new rules is you got to pay up a little bit more. Now, you can get you a girl. Of course, there's levels to it. There's a $20 first date. Yes, like
100%.
all he has to do is take me on coffee on the first date and I'm okay. I hear girls say that and I'm like, good for you, girl. Like, I hope you find you a genuine one. He better not cheat on you. He better not. Because he only spent $20 on the first date. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that for you. But see, for me, it's like I am so intentional about like the experiences I get to have in this lifetime now. And I want some dope experiences. I want to go to dope places and I want to spend the money to do it. And so right now it's like you have to match that energy and be able to do it. So I don't think that's like,
Okay.
you know, hard.
Which I hear you on that, but you still have to answer the question though.
What's the question?
Is it harder for men or women to find a partner in 2023?
I think it's harder for women. And maybe I'm a little biased.
Gotta be biased.
It's giving.
It's hard because even you just said, I liked you. And then you said $20 first date. And I was like, oh, this is about to be a real great friendship. I like him as a friend. That's my bestie.
We're going to have some great coffee. I'm telling you.
For sure. Like, I'm going to invite him to Starbucks next time I go. I won't even make him pay. I'm going to pay for it.
Can I get the big one?
I got you. You know what? I'm going to get you a Fenty.
I'm getting whipped cream, just so you know.
Ooh, get extra whipped cream. Extra cookies.
I was planning on it, actually. Already, so
Almond milk, 60 cents upcharge. Like, do it all on me. Go big, homie.
She thinks she's playing. I have this on tape right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a gift card, too.
I'm getting a scone, just so you know.
Good.
So you said it's harder for women. I'm going to ask your friend. Hi, friend. Which leave you anonymous.
You got to put the mic a little bit.
So the question is, Brandon, you can lift it up for just a tad if you'd like to. My question to you is, do you believe that it's harder for men or women in 2023 to find a partner?
I feel like, and it's kind of like you guys saying bias, from my experience, I feel like it's harder for women.
Interesting. Why do you think that?
I guess, like I say, from my experiences, it's kind of like what she's saying. It's all about sex, or it's all about, it's not communication and getting to know each other and what we can do for each other. It's let's do this real quick, and let's hang out, and it's not.
And then they hear our expectations for our first date, and they hear me say $250, and they're like, well, what is she giving me? What is she doing for me? And I feel that on the date. And so now it makes me retract and be like, don't even do it, because I don't want that. Like, I don't.
That's a hell of a.
Nobody wants to feel that.
$200 is, and I've done it. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking it, but $200 to me is a lot just to see if I like you.
I said FaceTime me first. I told you that 3 times.
She's getting an endorsement right now from Apple about this
Please.
FaceTime. I like it.
Please.
I like it.
Invite me on the podcast. Like, let's work first. Don't make it then.
Straight to dating.
Right.
Like, I want to see if let's be homies, let's be cool, cordial, all that. And then when you're ready to spend $250,
hit me up.
I love how both of y'all are stuck on this $250 right now. That's crazy.
Please hit me up. Hi, babes. Until then.
All right. I'll say this. I believe it's infinitely harder for a guy in 2023 than it is for a woman. The reason why. And I actually really don't even believe it's close. Number one, I get every point that you're making, right? But the truth is, guys have to face the same thing too, right?
Right.
There is an expectation, like you're saying, yes. And most of the time it is monetary. But the problem though, and the factor that you actually not keeping into account, is that not only do I have to worry about how I feel about it, I also have to keep into account how you feel about it. Because, for example, right, let's say we went out to a club, right? I have to approach you, right? And right now we're kind of in that movement where you got to really, really impress me for us to have an interaction. So now I have to get over my own fear, which I initially had, to walk up to you. And most of the time, I'm just going to get rejected just because you want to look cool in front of your friend, just to get that social proof. And that's what terrifies guys. And that's why less and less men are actually approaching women, because at the end of the day, you have such a giant rejection rate. She might not even know you, but right off the bat, you're already going to get rejected.
I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you've also said that too. How many guys have asked you out on dates and wanted to pay for this and you got a line of guys that's willing to do that.
And you know what the crazy part about that is?
You know how many girls is hitting me up saying, let me pay your bills?
Ooh.
Oh, light flex. That was okay.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm
not.
More than a light
really?
flex.
No.
Okay, I was like,
you know what I
where?
mean? It's the hit ups are
where?
The hit ups are way different. They're not wanting to pay my bills. They're wanting to do some other shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the dynamic is different. You know what I mean? There's more guys that's hitting you up and ready to be in your life than there is girls trying to.
And you know what's crazy about that? All the guys that actually approach women, right, that are brave enough to do it, most of them are usually the assholes, because they're the ones like, I don't care if I get rejected. So now you filter it out, all the good guys that could potentially come up to you just because you're trying to keep this social status, just right off the bat before even touching anything else. And then women complain, you can't find any good guys. It's like, well, you're already scared off all of them. So now you just have a nice pool of just assholes that really don't care about your emotions at all. obviously you're going to feel like every guy out there is just not a good match. That makes sense.
I mean, I used to work as a dating coach in LA.
You did dating coaching?
I did.
What aspect?
I was just in the girl who we would just terrorize the men to get them out of the fear.
I'm sorry, you were a dating coach for men?
So it's a company called Fearless in LA, and they help men who are shy or awkward just be able to approach more beautiful women, like the ones that they actually want. And so our job was to go up to them and like push them like really hard, or say, I wouldn't date you because you're short, or you look like you have a small, you know what I mean? Like just intentionally say things so that
wallet.
Wallet. Yeah. And so just push them to feel like insecure so that they can get out of that mindset of feeling scared.
100%.
And so for me, when I heard you say that, I couldn't help but to go boo-hoo because I'm like, you know what I mean? That's the part of dating. You have to go up to somebody. You have to introduce yourself. And even with me, I have to do the same thing, even like in normal life. I have to face rejection. I get rejected all the time. I sell life insurance. I get hung up on every day about 75 times.
Different arena. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh my God.
Work and social life, I get it. I will tell you this.
It hurt just as bad.
I will tell you
it
this.
Hurt just
Work
as bad.
and sales made me kind of like put like a shield over rejection. It's just like, all right, so I get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's not
boss.
It's different to get rejected by the opposite sex.
Right. If you're your policy is click. You know what I mean? It's different from, hey, I think you're beautiful. Get the fuck out of my face.
And that could actually leave you scarred for like decades.
What I mean? Like, hey, can I talk to you?
A decade?
You know
yeah. I know guys that got rejected in high school that still haven't gotten over it. Like getting rejected,
I still think
what
about
it could actually do to you psychologically.
I still think about the high school rejections. I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't affect me, but I think about it.
Dude, I went to my high school reunion just to see the one girl that rejected me.
What is she doing with her life?
I felt so bad after, dude. I was just like, man.
You didn't want to do it.
So I just gave her a hug. I was so nice to her. I was like, man,
nice
the kids are
you.
good. Ooh, boy. So
you see, I'm learning that life is not always going to play out the way you want it to, because something better is coming. And so when I think about rejection, I don't get scared. I don't get like anything about it, because I'm like, that person was just not meant for me, and that's okay. And so when I hear men afraid of rejection, I'm like, well, it's probably because right now you aren't operating at a level where you can get that type of girl. A lot of guys want girls who are going to be dressing up and looking pretty all the time, but it costs a lot of money to do that.
100%.
It's not cheap, especially if you like Sephora like me. Like, I want a gift card too, but I won't ask for that on the first date, maybe the third.
Second wait for the third.
I want a gift card there too. And so with that being said, it's not cheap to date someone like me. And so if you see me and you have this interaction with me and you like me, you're like, oh, I would love to like get to know her. And then you ask me on a date and I find out you have a $20 first date policy. I'm going to go, no. Don't get upset about getting rejected. Just understand that like, you're not coming with the same energy that I like. And there's another girl who's going to be so happy that she had the opportunity to have coffee with you.
Hit a button for her,
I like
please.
that.
So blessed. She's sitting there blessed.
I'm still getting my coffee for clarity, right?
Blessed up.
I'm still getting my coffee?
With all the fixings.
Oh, okay. I just had to make sure.
Make sure you get
All
that.
I felt like it was slowly disappearing, and I'm like, I just really want my coffee.
You the homie now.
I appreciate
Solid. Set in stone. You ain't going nowhere.
Bet. I love it. I specialize in the friend zone.
I think you know what? I think most men could thrive in the friend zone if they knew
vehemently
how
disagree.
What?
And I want you to go first, but I definitely disagree.
Okay, so
Thrive in the friend zone?
thrive in the friend zone.
Please explain
because
that one.
I agree.
look, they can. You agree with me?
Yeah.
Because you're in the
Ooh, I
friend
want the
zone. If
smoke.
you're in the friend zone, then you're in a true friend zone, then the girl is telling you about all these shitty men that she's dealing with. She's giving you, privileged information about what she likes, what her friends talk about. You know what I mean? You get the insider seat. So when if there ever comes a time in your brain where you're just like, I need to flip the switch. Like, I like this girl.
Because you should have said flip the table.
Exactly.
You misplugged.
Yeah,
wow. That's crazy.
Flipping the table.
You flip the table
on the situation.
But then all fours are up. So you don't want to do that. But anyways, so you flip the switch and now you're like, I know how to come at her. Right. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. And most times, I mean, even if you think sexually, most times the friends are the ones that's fucking.
No.
Bro, come on. Look, we got a woman.
Nope. Nope, that is not true. It
happened.
Can I say my piece? Can I say my piece?
And I'm not talking about a friend zone
like one time. No, that is not the common thing.
And I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about friend zone like. Bro, I don't like you. I'm just putting you. I just like you as a friend type motherfucker. I'm talking about like the true friend. Like, I'm about to hit up Daquan right now because this is my nigga. He know exactly what the fuck I like. I need to talk to him. Daquan is gonna get the draws eventually.
All right. Let me tell you why both of you are wrong. Number one, right? When you're in the friend zone, it's very hard to flip the tables, right, on that situation when you're seen in that light. But if it does get deep, like you're saying, right, and you really know them, you really do want to risk that friendship over a relationship. That's why I'm saying operating in the friend zone is very dangerous. That's why I don't think most people, number one, know how to navigate it. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
And number two,
I think so. I think a lot of guys can honestly have less anxiety about approaching women if they knew how to be friends with women first. I think the problem is a lot of guys don't even know how to be friends with women. They only want to talk to the woman that they're attracted to. They don't know how to really cultivate powerful relationships outside of I want her to be my girl.
Damn it, you said it.
Yeah, I mean, if y'all knew how to do that, then I have a couple of guys that I can think of in my head right now who haven't tried to do anything, who really genuinely has become my friend and wanted to work with me and collaborated with, that I'm like, I'm waiting for you. They don't even know that. I'm waiting for you to pull up on me. I'm waiting for you to let me know when you're ready.
That's so confusing, though. That's so confusing because you have women like, we're only friends. We're only friends. But in her head, she's like, make a move. Do something. Come on. I see that all the time. And it's like the most confusing messaging on the planet. Like, pick a side. Are we friends or are we not? Because guys are terrible at reading between the lines.
And women are bad at communicating,
which is a terrible combination.
I get it, but I think it's just the master cheat code to befriend a woman genuinely, and it's just like kind of like
you're setting yourself to get hurt because what you're gonna do is get into this friendship and like, one day, and then she gets married. And then you're heartbroken.
That did happen to me.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Why would you set yourself up for that?
I blame myself because it was just like,
now
honestly,
you're blaming yourself.
Honestly, I was just like, all right, she's fine as shit, liked her. And I was like, we're friends.
Do you still like her?
No. This is years ago.
His voice dropped. I don't know if I believe
I don't like it.
The one that got away.
No, there's no one that got away. There's no one that got away. I caught them all. No, but I kind of like, because we were friends, I was kind of laxed on it. And the time that I did say, hey, let's hang out, she was just like, look, I got a boyfriend now. And I said, word? And she was just like, hey, it literally told me, I was waiting on you.
Yeah. Did you get any cues?
I was young. I was young.
I don't know. You're in victim mode right now. I got to snap you out of it. You're in victim mode.
Am I playing the victim?
Did you get any cues?
I don't think so.
No.
Did you get any cues?
I don't know.
So why is it your fault? Why are you so quick to say it was your fault?
Yeah, it just happened.
Because I knew, look, it's like one of those things. You ever did something, right? And you ever did something that you've been wanting to do for a very long time, you finally did it, and you're like, I should have did this a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was one of those where it happened to me when the door swings the both ways. It didn't happen. I'm like,
did she tell you that you were friends though?
Yes.
Okay. So at what point should you have done it, quote unquote? When she's telling you this,
when we were texting back and forth and we were on the phone talking every fucking day, you know what I mean? It's just like the attention. Sometimes it's not, you don't even have to say, hey, I like you. it's the attention that you're getting from somebody. Like if you're on the phone, it's like, hey, I'm gonna call you back in 5 minutes, and they call you back in 3.
Yeah.
And you wake up, hey, what are you doing? You go to sleep, hey, what are you doing? Hey, good night. All that. You guys can live in the. You guys can live in the friend zone, but all of those are signs that, hey, I might like you a little bit more.
Oh,
than
no.
what
See,
you
this is
think.
why it's
And
so
she's
hard for
not
guys
the
to be
last
friends with
one.
girls.
And she's
Relax. She's
Right.
not the last
the
girl.
last one.
We
Right.
got about a million other out there.
Right now,
Calm
you guys-
down. We got 52 continents in Africa. Calm down.
Wait, hit a
it
button.
ain't that
She knew that.
deep.
Hit a button. She
Countries.
knew that.
It is not that
Close
deep.
it up. I can't
How
believe
many?
that.
You'll be all right.
How many of them are free though?
What?
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah, all of them.
I'm just
I hate your
Like,
face.
there's
This
plenty
guy.
of girls out here that if you friend zone one and you missed the opportunity, then that's okay. There's so many people out here. I mean, an overflow. Look at the traffic.
hello.
It is an overflow of people out here. And so it's like if somebody don't want you, another person will.
I like it.
If somebody can't have $250 for the first date, I have come to the conclusion another one will. It's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but it's plenty,
I like it.
and I love it.
I like it.
I love it for me.
What are we up to? 7 billion people on the planet? Most of them women, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, to your point, I 100% agree.
And we could be gay now. You know what I mean? We can do whatever we want without people. You can be a guy tomorrow, a rabbit tomorrow, a dog tomorrow if you want. So it's like if the women ain't hitting, you can date men. You can date animals. Like it's don't do nothing with the animals. But
Hey, bro, don't
hold
judge.
up now.
Bestiality, huh?
You know,
Hey, to each
I
his
take
own.
that back.
Okay.
Please don't cancel me for that one. Don't touch the animals, okay? I don't mean it like that. I'm
Someone's
just
at home
simply
right now,
saying.
like Liv said I could.
No, please don't
She
touch your
said.
animals, okay? I mean that there's just plenty of people out here.
Got him looking at the puppy all funny right now. That's crazy.
Oh my God. Ew.
Per skip.
Tanny, let it go, brother. Let it go.
Yeah, he's taking it too far.
All right. So right now you're into podcasting. Tell us a little bit about what got you into the podcasting field.
Yeah, so I was living in Texas at the time, and I was doing life insurance, and it was going good, but I was just like starving for a community. And so you're part of Morning Meetup. Absolutely. I've been a part of Morning Meetup for 2 years, and so I know there's always a home for me in Atlanta where there's going to be like-minded individuals to hang out with. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to drive to Atlanta and just stay for a couple weeks.
Wow. Where were you living at the time when you decided?
Texas, Dallas.
Oh, yeah, Texas. Gotcha. Gotcha.
I sell life insurance, so I'll get me a Atlanta license and just, you know.
How long is
And
the
then-
process of doing like the life insurance? Like getting the, I guess the certification?
It's however long it take you to get it done.
Was it just like a test?
Yeah, you got to study the material
It's like,
and
she
take
laughed.
it.
She's like, oh, yeah, I guess.
Like, if you going to get it done, it could take you a week and a half, 2 weeks. If
Oh,
you
like
going to
that.
procrastinate, it could take you 6 months.
Oh.
Just get it done.
Okay.
Either way. So I get to Atlanta. I'm staying in the Airbnb. My friend actually comes and visit me, and we're driving around. We seeing all these big, beautiful homes, and I said, "Oh, the money here. I'm staying in here. I know these guys can afford $250 for the first date," and I was not wrong.
I'm gonna need that to be the last time you say $250.
It won't be. And they can. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'm staying here. And so I ended up going to see Dave do his live podcasting recordings. And coming from a space where I've been an actress for 6+ years, I love set design. I'm obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with cameras, content creation, all of that. And so he was like, you should start a podcast. And, you know, that's all he talks about today.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Get him to talk about something else. You can't.
Good luck.
You can't. So I was like, fine. I'll see what it's about. So I take his course, and he does like an in-person 2-day intensive. And
How much does a course like that cost out of curiosity?
it was like $1,300.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's more than $250.
Yeah. See, I spend bread on myself, so you know what I mean. And so I was like, cool, I think I could be good at this. And then once I started doing it, and I seen a post you posted the other day about just like how podcasting is the best networking play, because when I'm asking people to be on my podcast, I am developing these friendships that outlast, like, we don't have to talk every day. We're bonded for life now. We got content together. We're married in content land. You know what I mean?
I do.
We do. Everyone's always going to see us like together, you know, doing this. And so I've seen just how happy people are when they leave my podcast, and also what I'm able to do for other people too. Like, now I get to have the platform that put people out there. And so now I don't have to wait. That was the biggest thing in acting that I hated. I was always auditioning. I've been on over like 200 auditions, 300 auditions.
Jeez, you're auditioning.
Yes. And the bigger I got, like, the more they wanted me to come in. So I'm thinking I'm about to be famous. I'm like, for sure, it's happening next week. For sure, y'all. Like, I just auditioned for Disney Channel. I'm up. No. They don't call me back. Talk about rejection. Okay? I have been rejected. And so having this platform really allows me to still be in control of my life, because now they have to reach out to me. And when I do reach out, I got leverage now. Like, I'm not just anybody reaching out. And now brands and companies aren't looking for, they may still be casting for actors, but they want people who already have some type of following.
Some type of traction already.
Yeah. And so now that I'm building this, it just feels like such a boss play to be able to have like really interesting conversations with like-minded people and be able to make money too. So I love podcasting.
Hit a button for her. That's awesome.
I love podcasting.
So do I.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. And one of the things I say all the time, speaking of money, on the other podcast, shout out to the Capital Gains podcast. I have this crazy theory that I tell them, and they always freak out when I tell them this. I tell them every single month, by the end of the month, I go down to zero every single month. And I told myself I'm going to continue to do it until I at least hit 40, meaning everything gets paid. I have to take any excess cash that I have and invest it back in myself as far as just education or whatever it is. Like, I literally, everything has to go. I don't want to hold on to any of it.
Okay.
It just has to reinvest. And when I said that, they completely like lost their minds. Like, whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? And I'm like, look, at the end of the day, in my opinion, when you have that education in you, you can always make it back. Like, that stops being the limiting factor. At the end of the day, it's not that I understand the importance of money, right? But like you said, money is just energy, right? You give value to someone, you get money. Money is not this scarce resource that I see a lot of people just try to hold on to.
Right.
I've seen people just try to hold that, let's say $1,000 in their savings account for a rainy day. But the thing is, if you have a really rainy day, that $1,000 is not going to help you. Why not take that same $1,000, reinvest in a skill that can actually make you make $1,000 whenever you want? You know what I mean? And that concept is just so foreign, because I think that people put, and as the podcast being about limiting beliefs, I feel like one of the biggest ones is the fact that we put way too much value on the actual paper money, as opposed to just seeing it, like you said, as a form of energy. It really is just, I've helped out this many people, that's why I have this money. It's not something to hold on to or even show out, or I have more than you. It's just, I've never seen money that way. So even when I worked in the service industry, the most disturbing thing is that people were tying like their emotional state to how much was in their bank account. People that didn't have money and people that had money. You would see people, I would serve people behind the bar that seemed on the surface, the guy's driving a Tesla. He must be doing really well, right? Fanciest clothes. The dude is just stressed out because he's one paycheck away from not being able to keep the facade. Then you see a waiter literally cleaning the table, happiest person in the world. So it's not the money. It's just the attachment that we have to the money that I think is what really gets lost in between it. And I try to get that message to people, but I definitely feel like it goes over their head. But if there's one message that you do take away from here, it's that money's just energy.
Well, the fear is valid.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because this country will let you sleep on the street and not give a like at all. Like, that's scary to me.
Wait, let me
I
ask you
think
this.
something about homelessness just doesn't sit right in my soul, because I'm like, we really letting people sleep outside in this big, vast world of plenty of land, plenty of like resources. how many people really want people outside? Like,
well, you're also taking away the choice that some people have to be outside. Not every person that's outside doesn't want to be outside.
okay, let's not do that.
No, I'm serious. Like a lot of people that are
Stop
homeless are willingly homeless.
Yes, but come on now.
Do you not agree?
No.
You don't think so?
I think if you put a cat and you leave them outside, they a wild cat.
Huh?
And then you got an indoor cat who bougie.
Wait, say that one more time. Say it
My
one more
indoor cat at my mom's house is bougie.
Okay.
This cat be sitting like this.
Yeah.
Bougie. Just like me and my family. Just bougier than ever.
Sounds like a cat I know.
And
Keanu.
then I seen the cat
Yeah, I know how to this.
by our hotel. He's been outside. He got patches on his head. He looking rough. And my whole point is when you're outside and you're not in a sheltered environment, like you start to lose things that were important to you because now it's not. So now you're like, okay, I know I'm not going to be able to shower for 3 or 4 days. And so you start to lose that desire of like, so one of the biggest things when I told you I went to Atlanta to be around Dave, I was in a point where like I was really depressed, just sad because I didn't have community. And the things that were important to me really wasn't like, I would have took a coffee date then. You should have met me then. I would have took a coffee date. It would have been nice. I would have been like, cool, like, I love it.
With all the fixings.
Yeah. And then I got around them and then they were saying, yeah, I'm making 60, 70K a month. And I'm like, I don't want no more coffee dates. I'll just hang around y'all. And when I get there, I won't be taking I'll have like foreign coffee flown in. It'll be different. And so, yeah, it's like your environment really, truly matters. 100%. And so when you sleeping beside homeless people in tents, you start thinking, okay, we having a good life over here. It's not too shabby.
True.
And then you go in the luxury of a Ritz-Carlton with air conditioning and nice plaited plush towels.
I prefer the Four Seasons myself.
Well, you know what though?
That's cool.
I think
I'll
we're
say that.
kind of playing a dangerous game in the sense that who's to say that they're not happier than you?
Right.
I don't care if they're happy or not. They can do however they want. My whole point is I would love to see a world where we cared about people enough to like, if you're at a point where you don't have money to have a place, you still get to have shelter. You still get to have just a room. Maybe you got to share a bathroom. I don't know how we need to like figure it out. Yeah. But if you want to be outside, sure. But I promise you, like, if we said nobody has to be, I don't think there would be as many people outside. I don't think you'd just be seeing people, oh yeah, I just want to sleep out here tonight. This is great. Oh, a thunderstorm. Yay. A shower. Like, no. People who is just outside right now. The beach
is great at this time of night.
Bless their heart. Bless their heart. Because that was rough. That was rough. No, nobody deserves that.
A shower. Yeah.
Nobody deserves that, okay? Everyone should be able to at least have a place to lay their head, in my opinion, for free. For free. Now, if you want to be bougie, you want to be big, you want nice stuff, maybe you have to work a little harder. Yeah. But there should be a certain level of compassion for everybody in this country.
True. I agree with you. And to round your point, I agree with you with that, but I also feel like we need to have compassion for everyone in general. Just because someone may seem some way doesn't mean they are that way. Like, it's sad when you see like that millionaire, like a Robin Williams, for example, like a guy that you see like seem like he had it all, but mentally he's just like dying inside. Yeah,
well, Hollywood is a rough place, and you do not know what he was doing behind closed doors.
That's true.
And so, as a person that used to work over there, like. They be with the
shit.
And
he's like, I got
it was more.
Too. You don't want the shits you don't want.
My lifestyle in LA, like I had to be on some hustle sometimes that like I look back on and I'm like, I'll never do that again. Like one of the biggest things was like sugar daddies. Never again. I can't go back down that path. But when you're at the point where you don't know how you're gonna pay a bill, that 70-year-old man, he kind of cute.
I mean, if you look like this way, like
Let me see your house. I mean, that 20-year-old fine looking dude right there ain't cute no more when he like, I'll take you on a $20 coffee date. Sir, I got real bills. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it because it ain't cheap over here.
I feel like this video is going to get the most comments either way. I feel like we're going to get a lot of extreme views. So, all right, what are your goals for the next 5 years? What can we look forward to seeing from you? I want to be able to record this right now so we can look forward and be like, I got it first on camera.
Okay. Hi, Future Liv. First of all, what's up? I hope you're still looking good. I hope you're still working out. I hope you're still taking care of yourself. That was just a word for me. That wasn't for you.
Time capsule.
Right. Really, I just want to build a community of women who prioritize their beauty, health, and wealth and prioritize like connecting with other women. And so I hope in 5 years, my community is thriving and we're inspiring each other and we're learning from each other. And I hope when men are watching my platform and seeing what women are doing, I hope at the time, like it's inspiring them to want to, you know, quarters better and do crazy things. I know money is not always easy to come by and I know it's hard. Especially like when you're at a point where you don't have a lot. And I just pray that Black men can get some more money. I'm praying for y'all. Like, I'm praying that y'all come up and do it big like my friend, gosh, I forgot your name, Tanny. Tanny?
Tanny has
and do it big like my friend Tanny and really elevate and focus on yourselves. And we may be in the time point in our community where we're not dating as much. And I'm okay with that. You know, because the Black woman I'm going to be for a Black man 5 years from now is going to hit so different. And if we're both elevating right now, we're not dating each other a lot, but we're just collaborating and just creating dope stuff. Our community needs it. We could use less sex and more money, for sure.
I like it.
Right now.
I like it. And more coffee. More coffee, too.
And more coffee dates for
Brandon,
Tanny.
do you have any final words that you would like to say? Because I know you've been itching a little bit.
No, I haven't been itching. I've just been hitting the ones. And
all right, cool. Itch to that button that points at you and then give us a word.
Word.
I like it. Bring it back. Final thought. Actually, first of all, I want to thank Liv for coming out here and sharing a lot of value, actually. And actually just sparking a conversation that sometimes we mentally think about, but we don't actually talk about. You know, there's a lot of people out there that have like, not only just anxiety about even talking about it or even knowing how to approach it, but to actually be able to hear it and just kind of see the thought process on both sides, I think is super healthy and super helpful. So if she did say something, or I did say something that you resonate with, throw it in the comments and let us know how you feel. And we'll definitely interact with you. Before we go, Liv, where can everybody find you?
Yes, Instagram at Olivia Jonale. Actually, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest.
Oh.
Twitter.
Yeah, on Pinterest.
I do not get on my Twitter, but
You should.
I do have a Twitter.
You need to.
Maybe
Isn't
an
it
X. I don't
Threads?
know what it's called these days.
No, don't do the thread. Twitter is where it's at.
I don't know. Threads is hitting right
Twitter
now.
is where it's at.
It's like connected, so it's easy to.
Twitter is where.
Fan base. Shout out to fan base.
Hey, make some noise for fan base.
Shout out to fan base. On all platforms, Olivia Jonale, Olivia Jonale. Follow my podcast, Women Specifically.
Oh, what's the name of your
Spotless
podcast?
Minds.
Oh, sorry.
Spotless
I realized we didn't
Minds.
say it. I am terrible.
Spotless Minds. So beauty, health, and wealth for women. We just going over leveling up and being our best selves and, you know, taking each other out on expensive dates. Since men don't do it. Since they scared they're not gonna like me when I get there.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This has been the Flipping Tables Podcast.